Okay, so think about AI systems that don't just sit there waiting for you to tell them what to do.
Right, systems that actually do things on their own, achieve goals.
Exactly. And, this isn't some far-off future thing anymore, is it?
Not at all. We're talking about AI agents, and they're becoming, well, pretty real, pretty fast, part of everyday reality now.
So that's what we're diving into today, AI agents. We're going deep.
Yep. Moving beyond just, prompting an AI like ChatGPT, we're looking at what really makes an AI an agent.
That ability to act independently.
That's the core. And we've got some great real-world examples, practical uses from different industries that really show their impact.
Okay, so let's get our heads around this difference again. It's not just asking Siri a question or telling Alexa to play music.
No, definitely not. The key thing, the differentiator, is that autonomous operation towards a goal, without you needing to constantly step in.
Right. Like you give it a big complex task and it figures out the steps.
Exactly. It decomposes it, breaks it down into smaller sequential subtasks, plans them out, then gets to work.
How does that actually work, though? Roughly.
Typically, it starts with a goal. Maybe you set it, maybe something triggers it, then it gathers information.
From where? The web. Internal documents.
Could be anywhere, really. Web, databases, documents you upload, then it outlines the necessary tasks and performs the actions.
And it can adapt if things change.
That's a crucial part. It can dynamically adjust its plan based on new info or unexpected roadblocks. Pretty smart.
And there are different flavors of these agents,
Yeah.
right? It's not one size fits all.
Correct. Our sources mention a few types. You've got, like, the simple reflex agents.
Okay, what are those?
Basically, condition action rules. If X happens, do Y. Think a very basic automated email reply, immediate response.
Got it. Then there are model-based ones.
Yeah, model-based reflex agents, they have a bit more context. They maintain some internal state, some memory of past events to inform their current decision.
A little more sophisticated.
A bit. Then you level up to goal-based agents. These guys actively plan sequences of actions to reach a specific goal, like a robot navigating a warehouse.
Okay, so planning involved there. And utility-based.
Utility-based agents take it further. They weigh different options, different paths to the goal, and choose the one that maximizes some utility function, maybe the fastest way or the cheapest or the most efficient. Think logistics optimization.
Right. Finding the best way, not just a way.
Exactly. And then you have the learning agents. These are the really advanced ones.
They improve over time.
Yeah, they learn from experience, get feedback, and adapt their performance. Fraud detection systems are a good example. They get better as they see more data.
So the type of agent you'd use really depends on the job.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Simple task, simple agent, complex dynamic environment. You probably need a learning agent.
And our mission today, as you said, is to look at the practical side. Where are these actually being used?
Precisely. Enough theory. We want to show you, the listener, where this tech is making a real difference right now. It's a shortcut to understanding the tangible impact.
And this market is set to grow, isn't it? Significant.
Oh, yeah. The numbers are pretty striking. Sources predict a market size of, $47.1 billion by 2030?
47 billion. That's huge. Really tells enterprises they need to pay attention.
It does. And it's not just businesses. People seem to be getting more comfortable letting AI handle things, too.
Like what sort of things?
Well, the data shows 70% of consumers would use an AI agent to book a flight.
70%. Wow.
Yeah. And 64% for help buying a car. Even scheduling appointments, like doctor's visits, around 39% are open to it.
Okay, so the acceptance is growing. People see the convenience.
They do. And that combination, market growth, consumer comfort, it really signals a big shift coming in how we manage work and, well, life.
All right, let's dive into those specific use cases then. Where are we seeing them first? Our sources point towards finance.
It makes sense. Finance is incredibly document heavy, lots of structured processes, ripe for automation.
So what's a concrete example?
Investment memo generator. Think about analysts creating these reports. It's traditionally super time consuming.
How long were you talking?
Could be 8 hours or more. Sifting through data, pulling it all together.
Right, finding those key insights in mountains of information. So the agent helps how?
It automates pretty much the whole memo writing process. It pulls info from knowledge bases, does web searches, checks LinkedIn, uses uploaded financials.
All the relevant places.
Exactly. And interestingly, it uses multiple AI models, like 4 instances of Anthropic's Claude 3.5 Sonnet, each with a specific prompt to handle different parts of the memo.
And the result? The time saving.
Dramatic, from 8 hours down to about 15 minutes.
15 minutes. That's incredible.
It really is. Frees up analysts completely.
So they can focus on the actual analysis, the strategy, not just gathering data.
Precisely. Higher value work. Plus, the firm can look at more potential investments because the initial research is so much faster.
Okay. And there was another similar one, buy versus sell side agent.
Yeah, very similar tech, same models mentioned. Again, automating investment memo creation. The key benefit highlighted there was cutting down comparison time 4 hours to just 5 minutes. Helps make faster, maybe more accurate decisions.
Got it. What about due diligence? That always sounds like a massive job.
It is. Manually checking financials, researching the market, it takes ages.
So an AI assistant for that.
Yep. The due diligence assistant. You give it a company, and it performs market analysis using web searches for the online landscape, reviews, things like that. Uses models like Claude 3.5 Sonnet again, and also OpenAI's GPT-4o.
And the time saving there.
Similar story. Reduces comparison time from about 4 hours to 15 minutes. Again, frees up analysts, and crucially, helps firms spot potential bad investments earlier.
Like an early warning system. That's valuable. What about those big financial filings, the 10Qs and 10Ks? Investors pour over those.
They do, and it takes time. The 10Q 10K documents extraction agent tackles this. You upload the form.
And it reads it.
It analyzes it using 3 instances of Claude 3.5 Sonnet. Then it reports specifically on risks, debts, financing, performance, the key stuff.
How much faster?
4 hours down to 5 minutes, according to the source.
5 minutes.
Yeah, so much quicker company assessments, potentially better investment timing, maybe higher profits.
Speed is definitely an advantage in finance. Now, competitive analysis assistant, that sounds essential too.
Absolutely. Doing thorough competitor research manually is a grind. It's research heavy, time consuming, and you can miss things.
So the agent automates this.
Right. It performs the analysis, compares your company to rivals, uses 2 instances of OpenAI's GPT-4o Mini for this, pulls data from Google Search and something called a vector database.
What's a vector database?
Think of it as a smart database that understands the meaning or context of data, not just keywords. Helps find truly related information.
Okay. And the benefit?
Complex comparisons done in minutes, not hours. Helps you understand competitors better, design smarter strategies.
Seems like it levels the playing field a bit for smaller firms too. And the last one in finance, spreadsheets.
Ah, yes, the spreadsheet AI assistant. Everyone's wrestled with a massive spreadsheet, right?
Definitely. Trying to summarize it or find something specific.
This agent helps. You upload a CSV file, give it a prompt about what you want summarized, and it uses Mistral Large 2 to do it.
So you don't need to be a spreadsheet wizard.
Exactly. Business teams can get insights without complex formulas. Saves time digging through data. You might not even need to open the spreadsheet software itself. Just ask the agent.
Making data easier to use. That's a common theme here. Okay, finance is clearly seeing big changes. Let's switch gears to operations. Lots of different tasks there, seems like.
Yeah, operations is a really broad area, often full of complex manual processes that AI agents are well suited to tackle. Take the AI staffing assistant.
Staffing, like finding the right person for a job.
Exactly. Across a whole company, matching employee skills to project needs can be really tough, really time-consuming.
I can imagine. Sifting through HR records, project specs.
This agent automates it. It looks at an uploaded project description, compares it against employee skills listed in, say, SharePoint, using Azure's GPT-4o.
And the result?
A claimed 90% reduction in time to find the right person or department.
90%.
Yeah, huge time saver. Helps find talent quickly, especially if there's a disruption, and gets the best fit for the project. Better outcomes.
That's impressive. What about onboarding new people? Always lots of questions there.
For sure. New hires always ask about expenses, policies, who does what. It eats up manager time.
So a training assistant?
Kind of. The staff training assistant for new employees. It uses Azure's GPT-4o Mini and a smart routing system.
Routing system.
Yeah, it connects to different knowledge sources, company docs, SharePoint info, role descriptions to answer specific questions. If it can't find the answer there, it can ask the main AI model directly.
So it handles the common, repetitive questions.
Right. Reduces research time for the new hire, frees up the manager for more important tasks, and probably makes the onboarding smoother.
Like a helpful colleague who's always available. Okay, shifting focus. InfoSec. Security compliance sounds critical.
Absolutely critical, especially things like SOC 2 compliance. You need accuracy, and finding answers in dense documentation takes time.
How does the agent help?
The InfoSec agent uses OpenAI's GPT-4o or the mini version, often in batch mode. You feed it the SOC2 docs, ask questions, and it finds the answers.
Batch mode, meaning it processes a lot at once.
Yeah, it could be answering a whole list of compliance questions based on the documents. Cuts analysis time way down, automates answering tricky security questions, and reduces human error risk.
Big relief for security teams, I bet. What about everyday communication? You mentioned Slack earlier, an AI Slack bot.
Yeah, this brings the AI right into the workflow. It's a Slack app, uses GPT-4o Mini. Employees can ask it questions, get help with tasks right there in Slack.
Based on what information?
Based on a cache of company documents it has access to, it can also push important notifications into channels, maybe let teams set up their own alerts.
So, less context switching. Keeps info flowing where people already are.
Exactly. Reduces the need to check 5 different platforms. More efficient.
Makes sense. And customer support. We see chatbots everywhere, but are these agents different?
They can be more capable. This customer support chatbot, using GPT-4o Mini again, doesn't just rely on scripts. It taps into product docs, website URLs, even does web searches to answer questions more thoroughly.
So better answers, faster.
That's the goal. Answer more questions more accurately, faster, reduces wait times, less load on human agents, and they're apparently easy to deploy.
A win for customers and the company. Okay, now for nonprofits, you mentioned RFPs, requests for proposals. They can be tough.
Very tough, especially for smaller orgs. Analyzing dense RFPs, writing responses, it's incredibly time-consuming, limits how many they can even apply for.
So the agent writes the response.
It helps draft it. The RFP response assistant uses Anthropic's Claude 3.5 Sonnet. You upload the IFP, and it generates draft sections, referencing past successful proposals, too.
That sounds like a huge help. Time savings.
The source claims response time drops from hours to maybe 15 minutes. No need to read the whole massive RFP manually first. Lets them respond to way more opportunities.
That could genuinely make a difference to their funding. What about analyzing things like tender documents in procurement?
Similar challenge. Tender documents are long, complex. Pulling out key details like cost and scope takes time, slows down bidding.
And the agent speeds this up.
Yes, the tender document analysis agent uses Azure's GPT-4o or Turbo, again in batch. Upload the doc, it extracts the key info.
How much faster?
Claim is up to 10 times faster analysis, speeds up bidding for procurement, could even accelerate whole project timelines.
Wow, 10x. Okay, last one for operations. Accessing databases without technical skills.
Right. The database assistant for PostgreSQL. Lots of operations folks need data from databases like PostgreSQL, but they don't know SQL, the query language.
So this bridges that gap.
Exactly. It uses OpenAI's GPT-4o Mini. Users type their request in plain English.
Like, show me sales figures for last quarter.
Something like that. And the agent translates it into the correct SQL query to pull the data from PostgreSQL.
That's powerful. Democratizing data access.
Pretty much empowers ops teams, takes some load off the dedicated data team, leads to more data-driven decisions.
Okay, a lot going on in operations. Let's move to healthcare. Huge potential there, but also, as you said, major considerations around privacy IPA in the U.S.
Absolutely paramount. Any agent in healthcare has to be secure and compliant. No cutting corners there.
So what are the use cases? Patient reports.
Yes, patient reports. Getting quick access to a patient's full history is vital for intake, for treatment decisions. Time is often critical.
How does the agent help?
It's often via a secure, iPad-appliant web app. A doctor or nurse types in a patient ID.
And gets everything.
The agent pulls information from various backend systems using APIs, then uses models like Azure GPT-4o Mini and Turbo to process that data and present it in a clear, readable format. All the key info in one place.
The benefit.
Saves staff significant time each month, speeds up patient service, improves the experience, and crucially, it's high-pay compliant.
Direct impact on care quality. Good.
Mm.
What about call centers in healthcare? Quality assurance.
Right, call center QA agent. Manually listening to patient support calls to check for compliance, quality. It's incredibly time-consuming.
I can imagine. Hours and hours of recording.
This agent automates it. You upload the audio files, it transcribes them, then uses something like AWS Bedrock with Claude 3.5 Sonnet to analyze the text against compliance rules and generate a report.
What kind of time saving are we talking?
The example given was dramatic reducing review time from 100 hours a month down to just 4 hours.
Wow. That frees up the compliance officer significantly.
Hugely. They can focus on higher level analysis, trends, maybe even reinvest those saved hours into more patient care roles.
That's a big shift. What about clinical documentation, like SOAP notes?
Yes, SOAP notes, subjective objective assessment plan. Doctors write these after patient encounters. Can be time consuming, especially if based on phone calls.
So the agent generates them.
The SOP notes generator does. Upload the call recording, and it uses Anthropic's Claude 3.5 Sonnet to automatically write the SOP note.
Automates transcription and structuring.
Exactly. Builds an archive, too. Saves clinicians valuable time they can spend with patients instead.
Streamlining paperwork seems key. What about understanding complex medical protocols?
Yeah, those can be dense. The protocol summarizer helps here. Analyzing and boiling down long protocols takes time and expertise.
How does the agent summarize?
It uses 3 instances of OpenAI's GPT-4o. One provides a high-level executive summary. The others pull out important details at different levels of granularity, presents it maybe as slides.
So easier to digest quickly.
Right. Cuts down study time for busy professionals, lets them focus on care, reduces confusion around procedures.
Very useful. And even in healthcare, contracts need review, right? Contract redlining.
Yep, contracts are everywhere. Reviewing them, suggesting changes, redlining is tedious work.
And the agent.
Analyzes uploaded contracts using Claude 3.5 Sonnet, suggests the red lines, doesn't replace the lawyer, but automates a chunk of the analysis, speeds things up, reduces redlining time from hours to minutes potentially.
Okay, it seems like healthcare is finding really specific ways to apply these agents, always with that compliance layer. Let's cover the last area, sales and marketing. Speed and efficiency are king there.
Absolutely. Time is money, quite literally sometimes. Take lead scoring. Deciding which potential customers are worth pursuing takes effort.
How does the agent score them?
The lead scoring agent actively gathers info. It searches the web, looks at the target company's website, pulls together data using models like Claude 3 Opus and GPT-4o, and generates a score or report.
And the benefit?
Big time reduction. That example was 45 minutes down to 1 minute per lead. Let sales focus on selling to the best leads.
That's a massive efficiency gain. What about writing? Ensuring brand consistency.
Always a challenge, especially with larger teams. The AI writing assistant helps. You feed it content.
Like a blog post or email draft.
Exactly. And you also give it your company's style guide. It uses GPT-4o to review the content against the guide and suggest edits.
So it enforces the brand voice automatically.
To a large extent, yes. Cuts review time way down, ensures consistency, lets content managers focus on strategy, not just proofreading.
Sounds useful.
Yeah.
What about SEO? Creating content for search engines.
Programmatic SEO tool. This is about scale. Producing lots of SEO-focused content manually is slow and costly.
How does this agent work?
You give it a list, maybe a CSV file, of keywords and corresponding blog titles. It uses GPT-4o and the mini version, plus web search, to automatically generate the blog posts and meta descriptions.
Generate hundreds at once.
Potentially, yes.
Yeah.
Automates creation, follows SEO best practices, hopefully, allows rapid scaling of content.
Interesting. And repurposing video. Video to blog post generator.
Yeah, turning YouTube videos into blog posts is a great way to reuse content, but it takes time, transcribing, writing.
The agent automates this.
Correct. Give it the YouTube URL. It uses Anthropic's Claude Sonnet 3.5 to summarize the video and then generate a blog post from it.
Automates the whole conversion?
Pretty much. Generate lots of blog posts quickly, free up the content team for other things, maximize your assets.
Smart. Now, CRMs like Salesforce are central to sales. An assistant for that.
Yes, the Salesforce assistant. Even experienced users can spend time clicking around Salesforce to find specific data.
So the agent lets you search differently.
Yeah, using natural language. You ask a question in plain English, and the agent, using Claude 3.5 Sonnet in this case, translates it into the Salesforce query language, SOQL, to get the answer.
Makes data finding much easier for everyone.
That's the idea. No need for deep CRM navigation skills. Access data faster.
Very helpful, and a similar concept for data warehouses like Snowflake.
Exactly. The AI sales assistant for Snowflake.
Yeah.
Sales ops teams often need data from Snowflake, but might lack SQL skills.
Same solution. Natural language queries.
Yep. Using Azure's GPT-4o Mini, they ask in plain language. The agent writes the SQL query, pulls the data from Snowflake.
So again, empowering non-technical teams.
Right. Reduces the bottleneck at the data team, lets sales and marketing use that crucial data more effectively for engaging customers.
Okay, wow. So looking across finance, operations, healthcare, sales, marketing,
Yeah.
really feels like the big takeaway is just how versatile these AI agents are.
It really is. They're not just one thing. They're tackling specific problems, automating tedious work, and fundamentally changing how tasks get done in so many different areas.
And the aha moment for me, listening to all this, is the sheer scale of the time savings and efficiency gains,
Exactly. That seems to be the most immediate, tangible benefit across the board. Automating the manual, the repetitive,
which then frees up people.
frees up people to focus on the things humans are uniquely good at: strategy, creativity, complex problem solving, empathy, building relationships, the higher value stuff.
And it feels like this is just the beginning, doesn't it? Our sources suggested new use cases are popping up constantly.
They are. As teams get their hands on the tools to build these agents, they start seeing opportunities everywhere in their own workflows. It's a rapidly evolving
The
space.
possibilities just keep expanding.
Definitely. As people get comfortable with these builder tools, they'll tailor agents to solve very specific niche problems too.
So for you listening, after hearing about all these applications, finance, operations, healthcare, sales, and marketing, maybe something clicked. Maybe a specific task or challenge in your field came to mind.
Yeah, think about it. What are those manual repetitive jobs or those frustrating data access problems that you or your team face regularly? Could an AI agent potentially revolutionize that?
And beyond just fixing problems, what new things could you do with that extra time and efficiency? What new possibilities might open up? Something to think about. That's our deep dive for today.